Hello, you're listening to the Pulang Usapan podcast 2021-2022, powered by the Far Eastern University Red Cross Youth Council.
Hey, fellow volunteers! Do you want to learn, talk about stories, experiences, and expert advices?
If yes, then syempre, you're on the right track. Here you'll acquire knowledge about volunteerism, self-development, health, well-being, and so much more.
Siamo tutti fratelli.
Hey! Welcome to the first episode of Pulang Usapan podcast entitled Debunking Vaccination Myths. Back to Bak-UNA, Balik Eskwela. I'm Jasmine Nabalos together with my partner,
Reyna Bina, kaya join us as we debunk myths and venture more about COVID-19 vaccines.
I'm really excited for today's episode. How about you, Rain?
Syempre, Jazz! Tinatanong pa ba yan? Highest level ng excitement ko for today.
Damang-dama ko nga. Gusto ko yan.
Gusto ka ba? Ay,
Grabe. Sakit magsalita. Syempre, di mo sure. Asak girl.
yes! Okay lang yan because sure naman ako na may makakausap tayong bonggang-bonggang speaker na magbibigay kaalaman, karunungan at katotohanan patungkol sa bakuna.
Pero, bago natin kilalanin ng ating special guest, kumusta ka naman? What is your highlight during this pandemic, Rain?
Ako siguro, a lot of people, kasi 'di ba during this pandemic, pinaka na-realize ko is we need to value the time we have with the people in our lives. Kasi syempre, a lot of people have experienced talaga where their family, friends, and yung mga loved ones natin were taken from us instantly. So
Yes.
talagang na-realize ko yung every moment we have with them is precious.
Very true. Minsan kasi we also take them for granted.
Yes. Ikaw ba, Jazz?
Well, ako, speaking of family, mas naging close yung family ko. Looking at the bright side, although yes, we struggled during the pandemic dahil nga ang daming nag-close, yung work nabawasan, ganun. Tapos sa school din, nag-struggle din. Pero it also made our family, it also gave our family the opportunity to get closer. Kasi unlike
Yes.
dati, ginagawang hotel yung bahay. Kain, tulog, alis, ganun lang.
Totoo.
Workaholic kasi sila, ganun. 'Di ba? Yun yung naging highlight ko. Kasi ang dami ko palang hindi alam sa mga kuya ko, ganun. Tapos, syempre, yung parents ko, mas nakabond ko sila. Yun, parang it made our family bond stronger. For every member, ganun.
Yes, I agree doon, Jazz. Talagang relate din ako dyan.
Diba?
And also, sadly, we experienced lowlights of our life during this pandemic. Pero ikaw, ano ba yung mga lowlights mo na yun?
Siguro yung una kong naiisip sa lowlight is limited human touch. Syempre. Ano ba
Yes.
yan? Limited Kasi yun yung love language ko. Mahilig ako sa hugs. Syempre,
Oo.
lalo na sa friends ko, sa family ko. Syempre, din sa malay mo, may significant other ko. Ganun.
Ay, wala ako niyan.
Wala ka nun ba? Gusto mo?
Sure.
No comment? No comment? I mean, kasi para sa akin, yung human touch is like, abracadabra, ganun.
Yes.
Kasi a simple touch really does magic. For me, ganun siya.
Oo, totoo. Magic na magic talaga.
Oo, kasi di ba parang it's evidence that someone is there for you. Kasi iba pa din yung although yes, nowadays we hit up friends online, ganun. It's nice, pero iba pa din yung comfort ng actual hug, ganun. Actual na pag-cry together in one room, ganun. Parang kasi lahat ng spidey senses mo na-reach ng hug, gano'n, na-reach ng isang pat, gano'n. Parang alam mo na yung, yes, I'm here, you're not alone. Gano'n yung feeling.
Yes, gets ko. And gusto ko yun.
Ista mo yan. Paano ikaw ba? Ano ba yung lowlights mo?
Ako, there's a lot of things that I could think of talaga, pero yung mga ordinary day, mga dati nating buhay, such as yung mga memorable experience na nakuha natin sa mga group
True.
projects. Minsan, doon nabubuo kasi yung mga unexpected bond
Oh, yes,
and
I can
friendship mo to
relate.
other people, diba? Like,
Oo, true.
tatawanan lang kayo, kulitan, tapos yung mga sabay-sabay kayo nababuryo during class hours. Yung mga
Oo,
ganon.
totoo yun. Tapos meron pa yung after school hangouts with friends. May ganun, di ba? Minsan,
Oo.
malay mo, minsan with jowa.
Ay, wala, kanina ka pa, Justin, parang
Sorry.
nahalata ako.
Joke time kasi yun, di ba?
Pero diba, kasi kami ng friends ko, kapag we really had a long, tiring day, tapos tambak kayo ng workload, stress na stress kayo, maghahanap talaga kami ng moment para makapag-have fun, ganun, mag-distress for kahit saglit, tapos tawanan kayo, mag-iyakan kayo kung gusto nyo.
Ay, gusto ko
Ganun,
yeah.
malabas yung mga
Gusto ko
nararamdaman nyo.
yun. Meron din kasi, di ba, parang in that way, nasi-share mo din yung burden mo with those people, with those friends. Kasi, feeling mo
Yes.
kaya mo kasi meron kang kasama, hindi ka mag-isa. And at the same time, you can let your hair down. You can be you. Di ba?
Yes, totoo. And doon yung saya and yung memorable experience mo, lalo na nung face-to-face pa talaga eh. Kaya talagang nakakamiss yung dati.
Yung dati? Ano?
Oo, pero
Yarn?
hindi ganong dati, okay? Yung pre-pandemic time kasi. And I'm sure naman na we're not the only one who misses face-to-face classes.
Truly. Ang dami nating na-miss dahil sa pandemic. But meron na tayong posibleng solusyon dyan.
Really? Ano ba yon, Jasmine?
Of course. Ano pa ba? Bak-UNA! But although vaccines are starting to roll out, alam mo bang marami pa rin sa ating kababayan ang takot or may doubt pa when it comes to vaccines?
Actually, totoo yan. Kasi may mga nagsasabi nga, mga pwede daw kayo maging zombie or immortal. So, sana.
Cute naman
Or
yung portal.
some even said that you'll pass away after getting your shot. So, dito talaga pumapasok yung importance of finding a credible source before you believe sa mga ganong rumors, diba? Kasi, guys, remember always that knowledge is power.
Yes, that's right, Rain. Diba? Konti na lang. Yung mga rumors na yan, gawin tayong alien after tayo mag-vaccine.
Actually.
Kaya it is really important more than ever na we know the right facts about vaccines. Because not only will it save us, but it will also save the lives of the most vulnerable.
Yes, tama. Aba, syempre, Jazz. So for us to learn more about the importance of vaccines, we have a special guest here with us today.
Sino nga ba siya? Our speaker is currently working in the Philippine Red Cross in providing sustained and effective services committed to building safe and resilient communities. She is in charge of program planning and implementation of health services in the Manila chapter through training volunteers and the general public dissemination of information and leading volunteers in the delivery of services. Let us all welcome the chapter service representative of health services, Ms. Pauline Codon.
Hello po, Miss Pauline. Nice to have you here.
Welcome po to Pulang Usapan podcast.
Yes, thank you for inviting me to be your guest speaker. I'm very honored to meet the FEU-RCYC, the very energetic RCYC of FEU.
Aba, syempre, tatak FEU-RCYC yata to.
Yes, and of course, the FEU-RCYC is honored to have the one and only Miss Pauline Codon.
Okay, so shall we start na?
Yes, ready na ako.
Ako din. How about you, Miss Pauline?
Yes. Okay, ready na din ako. Okay. So, ang ating ang event title natin ngayon is Debunking Vaccination Myths, Vacc to Bak-UNA, Balik Eskwela. So, from the title itself, I am sensing that you guys are very excited to come back to your school para sa ating face-to-face session. I know in the coming days or months, maybe limited face-to-face sessions, but nararamdaman ko na very excited na kayo to have this limited face-to-face sessions kasi ilang months na ba kayo nag-aaral sa bahay at puro computer ang inyong kaharap, diba?
Sobra, Miss Pauline, iba yung pagod kapag online classes. Unlike sa face-to-face classes na may halong tawaran with friends. Ganon.
Totoo. Kaya naman super excited na talaga kami na matuloy itong limited face-to-face classes.
Yes, so meron nga, sabi nyo nga kanina, meron tayong solution dyan, ang vaccine, ang vaccination. So, I will be sharing a few updates and why is it important na you guys undergo yung vaccination, ano ba yung benefits nito? I-run through lang ulit natin. I know this has been on the discussion for a few months now, pero gusto pa rin nating i-reiterate at malaman ulit, sariwain ulit sa ating mga isipan at i-convince ang ating sarili na to get vaccinated. Sabi nyo nga kanina, although marami nang nabakunahan, there are still very few people na hesitant sa vaccination. So hopefully, through this activity na ginagawa natin, ma-meet natin yung objective natin na to get everyone vaccinated, those who belong to the priority groups, no, na ini-implement ng ating government.
That's right, Miss Pauline. Kaya naman, to those volunteers na hindi pa nakakapagpa-schedule, what are you waiting for? Register now!
Alright, so for the updates, ngayon nasa October tayo of 2021. So more than 1.5 year na since pumutok itong outbreak, no, na itong pandemic na to dito sa Philippines. And then as of now, 2.7 million mahigit na yung total confirmed cases natin. Tapos, mahigit 63,000 na yung total active cases, more than 41,000 total deaths, and 2.6 million na yung ating total recoveries. Pero, we have sort of good news for everyone. Dahil sa patuloy nating pakikipaglaban sa COVID-19 with all the efforts na binibigay ng ating government and the private sectors and groups, dahil sa pagsasama-sama natin malabanan ng ang COVID-19, nakakakita na tayo ng downward trend sa ating mga indicators with regards to COVID-19 data. So, for the past week, meron ng update na merong decrease sa reproduction rate or transmission rate ng COVID-19. So, bumababa na din yung 7-day average cases na tinatawag nila. So, meron na din tayong 8% na lang yung positivity rate, meaning of all the people na nagpapatest, 8% na lang yung nagpa-positive sa test. That is already very low kasi ang target ng World Health Organization is to have at least 5% yung positivity rate among those who are getting tested. Now, from last week's data analysis, 8% na lang. So this downward trend will continue only if we still follow the minimum health standards na ini-implement ng ating government. So itong downward trends na to na nakikita, itong decreasing reproduction rate or transmission rate, bababa yung mga nagte-test positive and other indicators na maganda yung nagiging resulta ng data analysis. Ito ay magko-continue lamang if we still follow the minimum standards. Hindi ito indicator, okay na, gumaganda na yung resulta ng ating efforts ng ating COVID-19 response, bumababa na yung cases. Hindi ito yung pagkakataon para tayo ay maging kampante. Hindi ito yung pagkakataon para maging hindi na tayo mag-follow dun sa ating minimum health standards. But this is the perfect time to continue to sustain yung ating efforts. Not only those who are working in the healthcare system, yung ating mga frontliners, but also lahat tayo sa community, lahat tayo dito sa Pilipinas ay dapat mag-continue ng ating efforts in preventing the disease.
I agree, Miss Pauline.
So kayo ba, nagfa-follow pa rin ba kayo ng minimum health standard? Can someone give an example?
Social distancing po.
Yes, perfect. Social distancing. What else?
And another one po is proper hand sanitizing.
Yes, and also yung pagsusuot ng face mask, face shield, yan, tuloy pa rin yan. Hindi ito yung tamang pagkakataon para maging kampante tayo. So we still maintain those practices para mag-continue yung downward trend ng ating mga indicators.
In terms of vaccination naman po, what are the updates po as of now?
So, basically, nag-start yung ating vaccination last March 1. So, ngayon, October na, 8 months na. 8 months na tayo nagro-roll out ng vaccination. So, as of now, 7 million na yung total vaccinated in NCR. So, we are getting close to achieving the herd immunity. Later on, i-discuss ulit natin ano nga ba tong herd immunity na we are trying to achieve. And based dun sa latest surveys to willingness sa vaccination, dati nung first few months natin, 7 out of 10 Filipinos do not want to get vaccinated. But now, parang nasa 2 out of 10 na lang yung mga hesitant magpa-vaccine. But still, that 2 out of 10, i-convince pa rin natin yan, i-encourage pa rin natin yan na magpabakuna. So parang ngayon, from the previous week, 61% na ng mga tao yung nag-agree to get vaccinated and 22% na lang yung hesitant.
It's great po to finally see the progress kahit small steps kasi more and more people become more aware on how important yung pagiging vaccinated natin lahat.
Yes. So sa ngayon, mahigit 55 million doses na yung na-administer sa Philippines and 32.54% na yung fully vaccinated against dun sa 110 million population na meron tayo dito sa Pilipinas. And actually, ngayon since mataas na yung percentage ng nababakunahan sa NCR, yung ibang areas, yung other regions outside NCR are now requesting for increased allocation of the vaccines. So, syempre, sa una, pinrioritize si 'di ba, si NCR, yung bagsak, yung allocation sa mga vaccines, majority na kay NCR.
Yes po. Since crowded ang NCR, mas mataas po ang transmission rate compared sa provinces. That's why I think mas inuna po yung allocation within NCR.
Yes, kaya tayo yung pinrioritize. And now, since marami nang nabakunahan sa NCR, slowly the allocation is being distributed na, nag-i-increase na sa other areas sa provinces, which is very good step na ginagawa ng ating government.
Agreed po, Miss Pauline. It's great na pati yung provinces, tumataas na rin yung rate ng allocation because the more vaccinated population, mas mabilis nating ma-achieve yung herd immunity, di ba?
Sino naman po yung priority on getting the vaccines as of now po?
So sa ngayon, nag-umpisa tayo sa adults. Ngayon, nagsisimula naman yung rollout ng ating vaccine sa minors, sa 12 to 17 years old. But now, ang vaccines lang na allowed pa muna na i-administer sa ating minors ay Pfizer and Moderna vaccine.
Ma'am, saan po ba kami pwedeng magpabakuna? Pwede na po ba kami sa kahit anong bakuna center magpabakuna po?
Magpabakuna? The answer is no, not yet. Sa ngayon, si DOH ay may tinalaga lang muna na specific hospitals kung saan pwedeng magpabakuna ang mga minors. So, until the end of this month, dun lang muna sa specific hospitals na yon na in-identify, pwedeng magpabakuna ang minors.
Lahat na po ba ng minors ay pwede magpabakuna?
No. Ang priority ay minors with comorbidities. But later on, kapag siguro na roll out na marami na rin nabakunahan na minors with comorbidities, saka tayo magmo-move sa minors without comorbidities. But we will still be waiting for the guidelines of the Department of Health. Alright. May tanong ba so far sa updates?
As of now, wala po. But Miss Pauline, I think it's a good idea po to recall the COVID vaccines para sa listeners natin to clarify myths about the vaccine po.
Right? Sige.
Anong bakuna ba ang kailangan nating gamitin? Ano ba yung dapat nating pipiliin po?
Ang sabi, yung mga bakuna lang na merong emergency use authorization from the FDA, Food and Drug Administration.
Ano-ano nga ba, Miss Pauline, ang mga bakuna na yon?
We have Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, Sputnik, Janssen, Moderna, Novavax.
Thank you for that, Miss Pauline. At least now, it's clear for our volunteers and our listeners na kahit any of the brand ng vaccine is effective and safe kasi lahat is approved by the FDA. Kaya no need to compare vaccines, guys. If mas effective and safe, yung one brand to the other.
Ma'am, ano naman po yung herd immunity?
Ang herd immunity, ito yung tinatawag na kapag 70 to 80% na ng ating total population, maa-achieve yung, ang nabakunahan, maa-achieve natin yung herd immunity. Kapag 70 to 80% na ng total population ang nabakunahan, ito yung tinatawag natin na herd immunity.
Pero bakit nga po ba natin ulit kailangan magpabakuna, Miss Pauline?
Una, nakakapagpigil ito sa malalalang kaso ng COVID-19 upang maiwasan ang pagka-ospital o pagkamatay. We all know that for the previous months or for the past year, maraming mga severe cases ng COVID or even yung mga cases na nagli-lead to death. So ito yung iniiwasan ng ating vaccine. So ang vaccine natin, binuboost yung immunity natin para less severe. Kung sakaling magkaroon man tayo, maka-acquire ulit tayo ng virus, less severe na yung symptoms na ma-experience natin. Less likely na tayo ay ma-hospital or mamatay.
Pero bakit nga po ba natin ulit kailangan magpabakuna, Miss Pauline?
Ito ay iligtas na paraan upang protektahan ang sarili at ang pamilya. Ang pagpapabakuna ay hindi lang para sa ating mga sarili, pero ito ay para din sa ating pamilya at sa buong komunidad na ating kinabibilangan.
For our listeners, we hope that sa sinabi ni Miss Pauline is maging eye-opener on how important getting vaccinated and following protocols is. Kasi it's not just for your own good, but also for the people within your community rin.
So again, herd immunity. Ang herd immunity, say for example, sa isang dyan sa barangay nyo, say for example, meron kayong 10,000 population sa isang barangay. If 70 to 80% na ng total population nyo ang nabakunahan, that is very good. Kasi yung 20 to 30% na yon na hindi pa nabakunahan, kahit hindi sila nabakunahan, less likely na mahawa pa sila. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na herd immunity. Yun yung tinatry nating ma-achieve na majority of the population ay mabakunahan.
Eto naman po, paano po natin may iwasan ng ating volunteers ang transmission ng COVID-19?
Etong mga simple minimum health standards like nabanggit natin kanina, paghuhugas ng kamay, pagsasanitize ng kamay. Yung paghuhugas kailangan with soap and water. Hindi lang water, dapat kailangan may soap din. And then, yung pagsusuot ng face mask, face shield, pananatiling malinis na pangangatawan. Yung pagtetest din kapag may nararamdaman ka ng sintomas ng COVID-19. So, it's also very good to hear, to know na marami din namang mga tao na nagpapatest for COVID-19. So, para aware sila kung anumang estado ng kalusugan nila kapag may nararamdaman silang mga sintomas na maaaring sintomas ng COVID-19. So, dapat i-maintain pa rin natin yung mga ganong practice nang sa gayon, alam natin yung estado ng ating kalusugan and at the same time, itong mga steps na to ay makakatulong para ma-prevent yung further spread ng virus.
Ano-ano nga ba ang dapat iwasan po, Miss Pauline?
Yung 3 C's na tinatawag, yung crowded spaces, crowded public areas, and close contact settings.
Bakit naman po dapat itong iwasan?
Bakit po? Kasi ito yung mga lugar at mga pagkakataon kung saan mataas ang tsansa natin na mahawa kapag tayo ay nasa crowded space, crowded public areas, and close contact settings.
Ayan guys, kaya following proper hygiene and protocol is a must. If may symptoms kayo na nafe-feel, isolate yourself and get tested. Always remember that prevention is better than cure.
Kayo ba, bakit ba sa tingin nyo na kailangan natin magkaroon ng herd immunity? Aside dun sa protection na gusto nating ma-achieve.
This might not be in line po sa medical aspect, but I think it is important kasi it reminds people not to be selfish, especially this time na may pandemic. Example is getting vaccinated. Not only because it's beneficial para sa'yo, kaya ginawa mo, but because it's reminding you that in order to beat COVID, you have to comply with protocols para sa common good.
Yes, okay. Ano pa? Any other ideas?
Almost same din po sa idea niya na kasi po syempre yung mga may condition po, sila po yung most vulnerable sa atin ngayon. Yung mga lalo yung mga hindi mga vaccinated. So, in order rin po para balik na po tayo sa face-to-face classes, kailangan po talaga natin ma-achieve yung herd immunity po para less po yung infection and yung severity ng mga pwedeng makuha.
Yes, of course. And also, syempre gusto na rin natin makabalik sa ating normal way of living. Ano ba yung normal way of living natin? Ano ba yung buhay natin before yung pandemic? Syempre, yun yung ultimate goal natin, di ba? Yun yung gusto nating makamit. Sana soon. Gusto ko na ulit makapagbakasyon or gusto ko na ulit makamingle at yung mga barkada ko or yung mga relatives ko na nasa malalayong lugar.
Ay, totoo ma'am, sinabi mo pa. Nakakamiss yung i-flex mo yung friends mo and family mo through your social media accounts. Because why not, di ba?
Talaga ba, Jazz? Friends and family lang?
Ano ba rin na yan ka na naman Ako to, yung kaibigan mo. Baka
Ay,
nakakalimutan.
Oo nga pala. Sorry.
Syempre, gusto na nating bumalik. And also, kayo, ano yung gustong-gusto nyo na mangyari bilang mga estudyante?
Face-to-face
ma'am,
classes.
Yes, of
Ma'am,
course.
yung face-to-face classes din po. Pero yung suffering po with friends para mas masaya.
Exactly, 'di ba? Gusto niyo nang makabalik
Opo.
ng eskwelahan kasi syempre, 'di ba? Tama ba ako na iba pa rin kapag nandun tayo mismo sa school at meron tayong mga classmates na ka-interact, yung ating professors, teachers, iba pa rin kapag face to face, no? Iba pa rin yung learning kapag face to face classes.
Opo, Miss Pauline. Kasi touch is also a way to make you feel loved and valid.
Mhm. And also, yung mga workers naman na yung marami yung naka-work from home or 'di ba marami yung nawalan naman ng trabaho. Siguro kapag na-achieve na natin yung herd immunity, somehow unti-unti makakabalik na sa trabaho yung maraming workers, especially yung mga na-lay off na workers So ang dami kasing naging epekto nitong pandemic, hindi lang sa physical health itself but also may effects din siya sa ating mental health. And also we were not able to sabi nyo nga kanina merong nakakamiss na yung sense of touch, yun yung love language niya. Sino ba yung nagsabi nun kanina, di ba?
Ako po yun.
That's very valid. Oo, iba talaga ang language of touch. So yung medyo napalayo tayo sa ating mga minamahal, family man or significant other, sabi nyo nga. Ayan. Okay. So, yung iba, hesitant magpabakuna dahil meron daw mga side effects. Ma'am, effective ba yung vaccine kapag naka-experience ako ng side effect? Or meron kasing mga nabakunahan na na walang na-experience na side effect. So, ito yung mga questions nila in mind. So, yung ibang tao na walang na-experience na side effects, iniisip nila na baka hindi effective yung vaccine sa kanila. That is not true, So, yung mga common side effects natin such as pananakit ng ulo, pagkakalagnat, yung nagkakaroon ng chills, pain and swelling dun sa ating injection site, that is very normal and very likely to happen. Although, iba-iba kasi yung responses ng katawan ng bawat tao. Hindi porket na experience niya ay guaranteed or automatic ma-experience ko din. Hindi po ganun yun. Iba-iba kasi yung responses ng katawan ng tao. Whether or not naka-experience ka ng side effects, the vaccine would still be effective.
Ask ko lang din po, ano po yung pwede nating gawin kapag yung tao na na-vaccine is naka-experience ng side effects?
Kapag ka po nilagnat, sumakit ang ulo, maaari po tayo mag-take ng paracetamol. Iti-take po natin ang paracetamol kapag nag-onset na po yung symptoms, kapag ka nag-start na yung fever. And then, every 4 hours po natin iti-take ang paracetamol. In some cases, in some instances, na kapag ka nabakunahan ka, naka-experience ka ng pangangati ng katawan like mild allergy, that is still okay. So, kalma lang. Meron tayong pwedeng i-take na antihistamine. Ang alarming if nagka-allergy ka pero naka-experience ka rin ng difficulty of breathing na unmanageable and other severe symptoms pa. For those instances, you would have to consult to your physician, to your doctor. Pero less likely yung mga taong nakaka-experience ng severe side effects, yung adverse effects following immunization. Meron ba sa inyong natakot dahil baka maka-experience ng side effects?
Sa akin po ma'am, wala naman. Hindi naman ako nakaramdam ng takot.
Okay. Hindi naman siya
Meron
naging
po,
reason for hesitancy na magpabakuna.
Meron po
Yes
sa
po.
amin, ma'am, naging reason po yun. Pero hindi po sa akin, sa cousin ko po, tsaka sa
Sa
lolo
family.
ko.
Mhm.
Parang, natakot po sila kasi, tawag dito, yung sa side effect daw po, meron na chill, gano'n, tapos nilalagnat. Nung una po, hindi po kasi sila ganun ka-informed doon banda kasi barrio po sila. Kaya natakot po sila that time.
Ayun. So, maaari nating i-share sa kanila na tama, magkakaroon ng lagnat, mag-chills, but yung mga sintomas na yon ay normal po and eventually will go away. It will only last for a day or a few more days, pero that is normal. That will eventually go away and manageable naman yung mga ganong sintomas.
Kaya knowledge and awareness is the key talaga, guys.
Yes, it's good to know and the side effects is normal and it is not an indication na di effective ang vaccine mo. In short, no pain, no gain. Para ka lang nagwa-workout sa gym. O kaya pag nanonood kang Emmy Wong.
Or, waiting.
What if, Miss Pao, fully vaccinated na ako? Anong dapat gawin at dapat iwasan?
So, hindi porket fully vaccinated na tayo, ito yung pagkakataon na parang na-achieve na natin yung herd immunity, not yet. Yung sarili pa lang natin yung fully vaccinated, no? May protection na tayo. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun na hindi na tayo magpa-follow sa minimum health standards such as paghuhugas ng kamay, pagsusuot ng mask at face shield. Hindi porket fully vaccinated ka na, may lisensya ka na, yung vaccination card mo na nakalagay, vaccination completed, hindi po yan lisensya para tanggalin nyo na ang iyong mga mask at face shield. So, hindi pa rin po, magfa-follow pa rin po tayo. Hindi porket nabakunahan na po tayo, ay guarantee na hindi po tayo mahahawahan ng COVID-19. We are still likely to be infected by the virus. Pero, ang sabi nga, less severe na yung ma-experience nating symptoms or pwedeng hindi rin tayo magka-symptoms. Yun. So, please keep into mind na tayo ay maaari pa rin mahawahan ng COVID-19 at maaari pa rin tayong makahawa. Maaaring tayo less severe na yung symptoms na mararamdaman natin, no to less severe symptoms yung mararamdaman natin, pero yung mahahawahan natin, hindi natin alam kung fully vaccinated na ba, kung paano mo yung magiging pagtanggap ng katawan niya once na nahawaan mo siya. So, dapat maging conscious tayo sa mga ganun bagay na kahit na fully vaccinated ako, mag-iingat pa rin ako, hindi lang para sa sarili ko, kundi para dun sa mga taong nakapaligid din sa akin.
In this kind of circumstances talaga, no, hindi lang yung faith and yung health yung sinusubok, but also yung discipline mo as a person.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Being fully vaccinated is not just the key to preventing the spread of the virus. Yung discipline mo rin, like yung pagsunod mo sa protocols, has a big impact sa pagkalat ng virus.
Ayun po, thank you so much po, Miss Pauline Codon, kasi you provided us with the true intentions po of COVID vaccines and the relevance po of having herd immunity sa ating community po.
It was indeed an eye-opening talk, Ms. Karan.
So,
Yes
meron pa
po.
ba kayong misconceptions na gustong i-clarify?
Actually po, marami po. Our volunteers po sent these questions ahead of time. So, for our first question po, is it okay po to donate blood after getting the COVID-19 vaccines?
The answer is yes.
Pwede daw po ba sila?
Right after that you have received your first dose or your second dose, pwede na po kayong mag-donate ng blood. So, wala na tayong technicalities dyan or magiging problema sakaling you plan to donate blood. And that's a very good question dahil sa ngayon, dahil nga sa pandemic, naapektuhan din yung supply ng blood sa ating mga blood banks, lalo na yung nung first year natin kasi dahil nga may mga restrictions sa movement natin, less yung mga tao na nakakapunta sa blood bank para mag-donate. Dati ay regularly nagagawa naman natin so yun, nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic pero hindi natigil yung mataas na need for the supply of blood. Pero dahil sa pandemic, naapektuhan talaga nagkaroon talaga ng decrease of supply ng blood sa ating mga blood banks. So, that is a very good question na let us encourage one another to keep on donating blood sa ating mga blood banks. Hindi magiging hadlang kung nakapagpabakuna man tayo or hindi. And again, bago naman mag-donate ng blood, may mga tao naman dun sa ating mga blood banks na mag-screen if you are eligible to donate vaccine or not. To donate blood, or not.
Ayun po. Kasi po dati, I was, parang, akala ko parang if nagpa-vaccine kasi po, may mag-iiba sa dugo. At least po na-clarify po namin yan.
Yes, totoo. Okay, well, next
Hindi
question po from our volunteer is, hanggang kailan effective and magkakaiba po ba yun sa bawat brand, yung vaccines po?
Yung vaccines natin, meron ding misconception na si Sinovac daw ay parang less effective daw siya or hindi daw siya magandang klase ng vaccine kasi galing sa China. That is not true, no? Lahat ng vaccine nga natin, di ba sabi ko kanina, nagkaroon niya ng emergency use authorization from the FDA. So, ibig sabihin, lahat yan dumaan sa tamang proseso sa mga clinical trials. And si Sinovac or kung anumang vaccine ay proven na produce siya ng enough na antibody sa ating katawan. So, effective. Lahat ng vaccine natin ay effective. Ang question is, ma'am, hanggang kailan po ba effective yung mga vaccine? Meron po ba yung expiration expire po ba yan sa katawan natin? Or nalulose na ba nito yung effectivity after some time? The answer is, wala pang clear na sagot dyan sa tanong na yan. Pero, the vaccines are known to be effective for at a minimum 6 months. Pero, wala pa talagang studies na nagpo-prove kung gaano katagal effective ang vaccine natin regardless kung anong brand man siya ng vaccine, no? So, etong mga nakaraang buwan, simula nag-umpisa yung ating vaccination or even before the vaccination rollout started, na conscious yung mga tao sa vaccine brand, no? Marami yung namimili ng vaccine brand. Tatanungin pa muna nila or aalamin pa muna nila, ano ba yung bakuna na marireceive ko kapag nagpunta ako dyan sa vaccination site na yan. Ang sagot ng ating government dyan, kung ano man yung bakuna na available sa ating mga bakuna centers, sa ating mga vaccination sites, that is already good, that is already effective, regardless kung anong vaccine brand. Kasi lahat yan nagbibigay ng protection. So, ang question natin ngayon, bakit tayo mamimili ng brand ng vaccine? Meron bang specific brand ng vaccine na kapag ito ang in-administer sa akin, ay pwede na akong hindi mag-mask, mag-face shield? Meron bang brand ng vaccine na kapag in-administer sa akin, nakadalawang dose ako nitong vaccine na to, hindi na ako mahahawahan ng COVID-19 vaccine? The answer is what? Wala sa kahit anumang brand ng COVID-19 vaccine available sa atin ngayon ang magbibigay ng guarantee sa atin ng 100% protection na magkakaroon ng parang shield sa atin na kahit anong mangyari, hindi na ako mahahawahan ng COVID-19 vaccine. Wala naman po, hindi po ba? Kaya hindi na po natin kailangang mamili ng vaccine brand. Tama po ang ating government, ang ating Department of Health na whatever vaccine that is available, that is the best vaccine na. So, kahit anong vaccine man yung ma-receive natin, if after the vaccination, magpapabaya po tayo, hindi na tayo mag-mask, mag-face shield, magpa-perform ng good hand hygiene practices, we are still likely to get the virus and makahawa din. Ayun po.
Ma'am, ito po, pang Miss Universe po yung question namin.
Ako, pang Miss Universe, kaya ko po yun dito.
Tama, pang Miss Universe siya.
Here's the question, Miss Philippines. If you were given the chance to choose which vaccine you would receive, which would you choose and why?
Thank you for that wonderful question.
Yeah.
Joke lang. So, okay. So, base nga dun sa previous answer ko, wala akong specific na brand na vaccine na pinipili. Whatever it is na available dyan, if it's time na for me to get vaccinated, if I need to get vaccinated na, whatever vaccine brand it is, I will get myself vaccinated. I will not lose that chance to get myself vaccinated. Why? Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi lang para sa sarili ko, kundi para sa aking family at para din sa mga taong nakapaligid pa sa akin, para din sa community na kinabibilangan ko at yung mga areas na pinupuntahan natin, hindi ba? So, hindi ako namimili ng vaccine brand kasi lahat ng vaccine, sabi ko nga kanina, ay nagbibigay ng certain protection sa atin. So, it's up to me na lang kung paano ko iingatan yung sarili ko right after I get vaccinated. So, gusto ko rin i-clear na hindi porket na-receive na natin yung first dose natin or yung second dose natin right away, we get that maximum level of protection. It will take after 2 weeks pa para makapag-produce ng enough antibodies yung ating katawan.
And our new Miss Universe 2021 is daming S nun! Philippines!
Sa'yo na ang korona, Miss Pauline. Talaga namang pang Miss Universe yung sagot. Di ba, partner?
True, hindi lang ang sagot, kundi total package yan si Miss Pauline.
I totally and absolutely agree.
Yes. Aba, syempre! Anyway, we have another question, Miss Pao, from our volunteers. Meron daw po bang dapat gawin or dapat i-avoid bago magpa-vaccine?
Dapat i-avoid? So far, wala naman. Siguro, ano yung mga kailangang i-prepare before vaccination? Kailangan you are fully convinced na ikaw gusto mo talaga, you are very much willing to get vaccinated. And paano mo magagawa yan? You can do some researches or magbasa ka. Kung may mga questions ka, you have some hesitations in mind, maaari kang magtanong dun sa mga reliable na tao or even magbasa online. Pero let's see to it na yung mga babasahin natin, yung source ng ating mga information ay from the reliable sources. Ano-ano ba yung mga examples ng reliable sources natin? We have the page of sa Facebook na lang, for example, kasi ito yung very common na platform na ginagamit natin. Pwede kang mag-visit sa site ng Department of Health. We also have UNICEF, for example. We also have Philippine Red Cross. Ito yung mga example. Marami pa, no, hindi lang yung mga nabanggit, pwede rin sa ating mga news. You have your, for example, your 24 Oras or TV Patrol or other news companies, 'di ba? So, let's see to it na kapag tayo ay kukuha ng information at mag-share ng information, ito ay nanggaling sa reliable sources. Ito for the past years or even kahit hindi itong sa pandemic, meron tayo yung mga ano bang tawag doon? Tama ba? Chain messages, yung pasa-pasa na receive ko, share it to your friends or your relatives. Tapos lang siya, parang plain text lang naman na huwag mo itong gawin or ito yung dapat mong gawin. Tapos, yun na, sige naman na pasa-pasa naman ng messages, 'di ba? More likely, itong mga messages na to, hindi ito reliable. So, more often than not, ito yung mga messages na nag-create pa ng more fear, 'di ba, sa mga tao, nag-create pa ng panic sa isip ng mga tao. Ito yung nag-create pa kung bakit nagiging hesitant yung mga tao to get vaccinated or kung ano mang practices na hindi naman tama related to COVID-19. So, let us avoid sharing those kinds of messages. Always rely to the reliable sources. Yon, such as yung mga nabanggit kanina.
Yes po. Another one po is that di ba on social media po, we can see naman that a lot of people has been posting their vaccine stories and questions regarding the vaccines. And there are some po who can't get their second dose of vaccines due to some personal reason. So in that case naman po, what if someone decided to not get their second dose? What will happen po?
What will happen if someone decided not to get their second dose? Hindi nila ma-achieve yung full immunity na binibigay nung kung ano mang type of vaccine yung in-administer sa kanya. Kasi when you receive your first dose, may certain percentage of protection na yan na binibigay sa'yo, but not full yet. So, kaya kailangan natin ng second dose para ma-meet natin yung full immunity na maibibigay nung vaccine na yon. Say for example, si Pfizer. Sabi, ang percentage of effectivity na binibigay ni Pfizer is 95%. On your first dose, hindi mo pa mamimit yung 95% na yan. This will only be achieved upon receiving your second dose 2 weeks post-second vaccination. 2 weeks after receiving your second dose of vaccination, dun mo palang maa-achieve yung 95% of effectivity. So, may certain protection ka na marireceive on your first job, but we encourage people to get their have their second dose pa rin.
Thank you, Miss Pauline, for sharing your insight. I agree po, no? Doon sa sinabi ni Miss Pauline na hindi dahil na-vaccine ka na ng one time is ma-reach mo na yung full effectivity ng vaccine. Kaya guys, we strongly suggest na you get your second dose of vaccine.
That's right. And also, I wanna add rin kasi tumatak sa akin yung insight ni Miss Pauline about having credible sources for the information na kumakalat about the virus and the vaccine. Kasi sa false information nag-start yung misconception ng tao about sa vaccines, kaya madaming natatakot.
Kaya guys, we strongly advise that please always do a background check kung saan website and kung kanino galing yung information to know if reliable ba na source of information yung mga nakukuha natin.
Yes, true. Kagaya nga ng sabi ni Kuya Kim, lamang ang may alam.
Yes.
Yun.
So, with regards po sa blood donation kanina, na-discuss niyo po right na okay na pong magpa-donate. May I ask lang po if are there any requirements needed po such as yung antigen or RT-PCR test po, ganun, before donating blood?
Hindi po nire-require na magkaroon muna tayo ng RT-PCR test, no, or antigen test prior to donating blood kasi again meron namang taong magsi-screen sa inyo if you are eligible to donate blood dun sa ating mga blood banks.
What if naman po, ma'am, if ever na may COVID pala yung nag-donate ng blood? Without like knowing. Kunwari, di ba meron pong mga instances na gano'n na parang
Kung positive
asymptomatic?
pala yung magdodonate.
Opo.
That will be part of the screening process dun sa blood bank. I am not certain lang at this point kung gaano ka-intensify yung screening process na ginagawa sa ating blood banks, but definitely meron tayo doon mga doctors, mga health professionals to perform a thorough assessment bago tayo makapag-donate ng blood, and that includes also the assessment for the possibility of you having a COVID-19 virus.
I agree, ma'am. If you wanted to know more about blood donations, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our second episode that would surely answer your questions about blood donations.
Next question naman po, follow-up question lang po ulit. May mga kumakalat po kasing parang news or issues sa social media na parang pwede po ba magpa-booster shot?
Booster shots, yan. Napag-uusapan na yan. That is likely to happen. On the way na siya. Pero again, we would still need to wait for the guidelines of the Department of Health regarding booster shots. Kasi mainly ang goal natin is to have the entire population of the Philippines vaccinated, So, siguro, bago tayo magpa-booster shots, yun muna yung i-achieve natin na mabakunahan na yung entire population muna ng ating bansa. Yung nasa mga priority groups natin before mangyari siguro ang ating booster shots. Kasi yun nga, herd immunity muna bago booster shots.
Yes po, tama po yan, ma'am. Yun din po yung parang naiisip ko eh. Kasi may mga kumakalat po talaga na gusto na nila magpa-booster shot ganyan. Eh hindi pa nga po tapos yung parang majority of our population na mag-vaccine. So siguro, ayun, tama naman po yung sinabi niyo. I agree din po sa
Yes. I believe that is already on the table on the discussion of our experts on the Department of Health. Kasi we also have to consider yung continuous exposure din ng ating mga frontline workers. But then, yun nga, let's just wait for the guidelines of Department of Health. Malalaman naman natin yan. I'm sure there will be an announcement kapag pwede na tayo makareceive ng booster shots. But before the booster shots, let's aim for our 70 to 80% target para ma-achieve natin yung ating herd immunity.
Yes, ma'am. Hopefully po. Next question naman, ma'am. May nakita po kasi sa Facebook na video. Meron po kasi yung mga nagvi-video na kapag binabaksin, di ba yung parang pinapakita na nababaksin na ako ganyan. Meron po ako nakitang video na pagtusok po ng syringe, hinila po kagad. Tapos may tumasik pong gamot ng vaccine. Ano po kayo immunity matatanggap? Meron pa rin po kaya?
Definitely meron kasi if if there is a certain dose naman na na-introduce, na-administer sa katawan nung binabakunahan, definitely meron, but not the percentage, but not that much na ini-expect natin as kung na-receive nila yung full dose nung kung ano mang specific vaccine na yun, ano.
Okay po, ma'am. Last question na po, promise. Sorry po. Sorry po, madami
Okay lang,
namin sinabi
okay lang.
na question. So all throughout
Sure.
kasi po sa discussion yun, dami ko pong learnings and knowledge na natutunan, and grabe, madami din pong nag-pop up na question. So, eto na po yung last. Di ba nga po nagkalat na po sa social media na nagbubukas na daw yung mga pasyalan, ganyan. Lalo na rin po, katulad na lang po nung The Island sa BGC ata yun. Parang inuman po siya, parang nag-open na po siya or partially open something po. Ano naman po parang, as a normal citizen na po kayo, ano pong masasabi nyo na yung mga pasyalan po nagbubukas na pero yung mga classes po, face-to-face classes, ganyan, hindi pa po nagbubukas?
Okay. Parang pang Miss Universe din yung tanong, ano?
Opo.
Ayan, so meron ng mga inuman daw and yung mga pasyalan na nagbukas na, but not yet the face-to-face classes. But I believe the face-to-face classes is already on its way, di ba? Kaya roll out na din ng vaccination sa mga minors and also to those who are nasa adult stage na rin naman, 18 years and above, but pasok dapat dun sa ating mga priority groups. Siguro, as of now, kaya open na yung mga pasyalan, that is still part of boosting our economy, but also, yung ating face-to-face classes on its way naman na. So, parang, sa ngayon, tuloy-tuloy naman yung inyong education. Tumatakbo naman yung education, pero nasa different platform nga lang, ibang strategy or mechanism nga lang, naka-online class kayo. Pero soon enough, makakapag face-to-face classes din kayo. Pero let's hope na very very soon, 'di ba, yung ating limited face-to-face classes ay bumalik na. Kaya we need to get ourselves vaccinated para mangyari na talaga to. Dapat magkaroon na talaga ng herd immunity.
Yes.
Ayun lang
Well,
naman yung mga questions ko, ma'am. Thank you so much po for answering.
ayan, wala na po bang hahabol? Mukhang wala naman na.
Mukhang wala.
That would be all the questions. And I'm sure hindi lang ako ang maraming natutunan today. Maging ang volunteers natin. We hope you're all now enlightened volunteers.
Yes, and thank you once again, Miss Pauline Cadon, for answering questions and giving enlightenment regarding COVID-19 vaccines.
Ma'am, meron po ba kayong
Apa.
gustong batiin? Di ba may pa-shout out? Go ahead po. if meron.
Shout
Go lang po.
shout out. Shout out kay Sir Patrick na nandito sa tabi ko ngayon. So kami dalawa na lang nandito sa office ngayon. So wala naman tayong significant other para batiin.
Okay
Parang
lang yan.
yun yata
Pag
yung inabangan niya sabihin ko. Yun, shout out to everyone sa lahat ng mga RCYC ng Manila chapter, no, na very much masipag at energetic sa despite na kayo ay wala sa school, hindi kayo nakita-kita, ongoing pa rin ang inyong movement, ang inyong mga activities, and kayo ay nakakapag-contribute pa din dito sa ating COVID-19 response through this kind of activities, and that is very much commendable. So, keep it up. Thank you so much for doing this, and sana magkaroon pa ng makapag-initiate pa rin kayo ng ibang activities pa regarding COVID-19 response or other humanitarian concerns, since tayo ay nasa mga warriors tayo ng humanitarian organization. So very good everyone. So napahanga niyo ako. Ako bago lang sa ganitong platform, itong Discord na to. So, I welcome myself to this Discord platform. Ayan.
Ayan, ma'am, we welcome you din po. Maraming salamat po ulit, ma'am. And sana po magka-jowa. Charot. Ayun, thank you po sa iyong oras at syempre sa kalaman na binahagi niyo sa amin.
Babalitaan kita. Sino
Ayun po.
yung nagsabi na si Jasmine? Sige. Jasmine, I will update you
Yes,
kapag
Jas-
nagka-jowa. Ayun.
Sige, ma'am. I will congratulate you po pag na-update niyo na ako sa jowa niyo.
Feeling ko ito si Jasmine,
Okay,
may jowa to kaya ganito ka-hype.
Nasa tapos na ako ata yung ganun.
Ganun ka confident. Sorry po, ma'am. Sorry po. Tabi.
Okay.
Ma'am, may request po pala kami.
Okay.
Ma'am, like, follow, share, subscribe, Anchor, and YouTube ng Red Cross Youth Council.
Yeah, sige, aabangan ko to at yung mga susunod nyo pang mga mga i-release na mga ganitong activities. Sige. Thank you so much.
Wow! Sabi sa'yo, Ray! Bonggang-bonggang ating speaker this episode. Iba talaga ang tatak Red Cross, di ba?
Yes, we agree, Jazz. Kakaiba talaga ang mga taga-Red Cross. Complete package, kumbaga. Di ba?
Very true. Very true. Kaya naman, deserve natin ng katuwang sa buhay. Okay, significant other.
Yes.
Walang chos yan, girl. Walang chos. Di ba? Miss Pauline, syempre, isasama po namin kayo sa prayers namin na sana ma-meet nyo na si The One, no?
Yes, totoo yan. Kaya speaking of one, super one of a kind naman talaga ang ating talk and speaker for this episode. Very timely and relevant.
Yes, for sure. Our fellow volunteers were enlightened like us, di ba?
Yes. Kaya naman, Jazz, if magbibigay ka ng one word for our takeaway, ano yun at bakit?
Aba, ito na ba ang practice ko? Pang-miss yun. Charot.
Yes. Oo.
Charot lang.
First time ko na.
Anyway, so, one word. I think my one word for this episode would be truth.
Wow.
Oo, di ba? Since naman throughout the talk, super nalinawan talaga ako, especially sa mga myths na akala ko dati totoo. Kaya naman, mahirap talaga maniwala agad sa mga sabi-sabi, di ba? Di ba?
Yes. Aba, syempre. I totally agree, Jazz. Sa akin naman, ang pinaka-take-away ko ay awareness. Yon. Super tumatak talaga sa akin yung sinabi kasi ni Miss Pauline na the best vaccine is the one that is available.
Wow, totoo yun, girl. Tsaka ang ganda ng motto. Parang naging motto na siya.
Yeah.
Quote and quote, di ba?
Oo, para ma-achieve natin yung herd immunity at bumalik na yung buhay natin dati, di ba? Yung pre-pandemic time pa. Na kaya dahil dito, we have to get vaccinated, guys.
Very true. So, nalinaw na talaga yun.
Yeah. And to add na din, yung podcast natin is about debunking myths about vaccines. For me, kaya awareness talaga yung pinaka-obvious na people within our community lack knowledge about facts sa vaccine and virus. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng misconception. Kaya with this podcast, we hope that myths are debunked and all of us are educated with the truth, right?
Yes, aba, syempre. Kaya big help talaga yung podcast natin to spread awareness and nothing but the truth. Ayun. Kaya naman, here's the truth. We have stored more episodes for you, fellow volunteers. So you better, Nag-demand you better.
Oo talaga.
So stay tuned. And also, keep posted in our official Facebook page at Far Eastern University Red Cross Youth Council and our official Instagram account at FEU-RCYC, of course. If you haven't subscribed to our official YouTube channel, ano pang hinihintay mo? Subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be notified whenever we have new episodes.
Yes, and abangan din ninyo ang aming mga special guests for every episode because we assure you that they are worth waiting for.
Yes, very true. Hindi yan tulad ng mga crush nyo, okay?
Ay! Chan!
sorry. Tabi-tabi sa mga Pinuyat pero di ginawa.
Mag-real talk ka na ha?
Sorry. Ayan, kaya naman, huwag na natin sila paghintayin pa. Here's a brief discussion to give us a hint for our next episode. Once again, I'm Jasmine Abalos.
And I am Reyna Bina, your fellow volunteers for Pulang Usapan podcast.
Thank you, volunteers. Siamo tutti fratelli.
Next expose on Pulang Usapan podcast. The bloody truth with a theme debunking myths, revealing facts, and real-life experiences. Special guests will talk about informative facts, experiences in blood donation, why we volunteer, and debunking myths on blood donation. Also, make sure to like and follow us by searching up at FEU-RCYC for updates. Stay tuned, fellow volunteers.